Yamuna was the eldest child of Srimati Kaveri and Sri Giri Prabhu, grandchild of Sri Govinda Prabhu, great grandchild of Sri Vamana Prabhu, and great great grandchild of Sri Kalika Prabhu. As the first child, the parents showered their love and affection on her in abundance. Yet, they also took great care to groom her in the best possible way right from the childhood. As the family started growing in numbers, Yamuna realized the need to take initiative in helping mother in the household chores. For Yamuna, it was learning by on-job training in cleaning the house, its surroundings, washing vessels, helping mother in cooking, washing clothes, taking care of the younger ones when mother was busy elsewhere, nursing them or giving medicines when they were sick, going for buying groceries or sourcing vegetables, etc. Yamuna found time for all those household chores and something more as she pursued her education in TD High School and successfully completed the upper primary schooling. Such was the standard of education those days. Upper primary level students could easily compete with the present SSLC students in language or arithmetical skills. Interestingly, in those days, stress in primary classes was on development of mental mathematics and oral communication skills in language. Naturally, young Yamuna excelled in both. Such was Yamuna's computing skill. She could add, deduct, divide numbers, and keep accurate accounts, all that in mind only. Her good listening skills helped her to learn from the mother so many stotras, bhajans, etc., that she made it a habit to chant regularly right after taking bath till going and returning from the temple. That she did throughout the life. Child Yamuna learned many things only by observing her mother. She kept a close watch on mother's rigorous religious practices like observing fast on Ekadashi, Janmashtami, Shivaratri, Somavara, Brahaspati etc. As if fascinated by it, Yamuna started observing it right from that tender age, a habit that she carried on till the last. Those vritas had punishing schedules of waking up at wee hours, bathing in cold water, wearing only clothes that were washed prior to bathing, spending time mostly by chanting stotras, namavalis, reading Mahabhagavata, etc., with intake of food limited mostly to water. All those vritas laid special stress on observance of saucha, the personal cleanliness of the mind and the body. All that might have had a telling effect on her body during that growing age. When it came to mental maturity, though she was far ahead of others of her age group, she looked smaller in height to them. But God has compensated it with something else, a heart and a mind that was to accommodate anyone, providing help and succor. Worship of God in many ways and forms. For realization of Purusharthas, the fourfold life objectives has been unique to Sanatana Dharma. Starting from the Gotra-based yajnas that required huge forest resources, over the millenniums it got evolved into family-based Agnihotras, requiring lesser resources, and then finally into Kuladevata, deity-based worship requiring very less resources. With the dispersion of members of joint families to faraway places in search of newer occupation beyond their traditional ones, the Kuladevata was left to the worship by the remaining members of the family, or owned up by the surrounding community as Grama Devata, the village deity, thus making it more sustainable community-based way of worship. Kuladevata left unattended either got elevated into a mass pilgrim center based on their spiritual power, wealth, serene location, etc., like Purnatrayesha temple in Tripunithara, Padmanabha Swami temple in Trivandrum, Ayyappa temple at Shabarimala, etc., or left unattended altogether waiting for the eternal karmic cycle to complete. Whereas the members who went in search of a living but had to settle down away from the joint families kept an eternal lamp, the Thannavel Divo as it called in Konkani, in their prayer rooms representing Kuladevata and worshipped it with Namavalis, Stotras, Bhajans, etc. In joint families in the ancient homes, for worship of Kuladevata, a separate puja room called Kudi in Konkani was kept that required family members to maintain a high level of cleanliness, Saucha or Anvalpan in Konkani. In most of the joint families, mostly the kitchen itself was the puja room. In all such homes, no separate food was cooked for the members. It was only prasad that was prepared for offering to the deity and then partaken by the members. For this preparation, the highest levels of cleanliness was expected from the member cooking it and the items used for its preparation. Items like meat, fish, liquor, onion, garlic, chilies, stale, rancid or leftover food were considered impure and as such taboo as offering to the deity. Partaking of prasad offered to the deity as part of the puja has been considered as one of the ways of cleansing the mind. It has a scriptural rule underlining it. Ahara Shuddho Sattva Shuddhi, Sattva Shuddho Dhruva Smriti, meaning God realization takes place when the mind gets purified with the intake of pure food. The scriptures elaborate it further on how the food consumed helps in body maintenance and one part gets converted into medha, a higher level of intellect with which alone one can comprehend the real meaning of the scriptures and God realization. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali briefly mentions the outcome of Saucha as Saucha Swa Anga Jugutso Parehi Asamsargaha, meaning the one who observes Saucha will neither have attraction for own body nor of others. In short, his consciousness level rises above the body level. Even when the joint families lay tattered and Kuladevata worship in homes became a thing of the past, cleanliness that was second nature to some continued. Yamuna's mother Srimati Kaveri was one who practiced them steadfastly. It got ingrained into young Yamuna also when many had turned that habit into a perverted obsession. It was during that phase Yamuna had grown into an adolescent girl with beautiful looks, though looking frail and short in stature. As was the practice those days, parents started looking for good proposals that finally culminated in her marriage with Sri Damodar Pai, Chertala, belonging to the well-known Chitteratta family, a joint family of landlords with wide range of trading interests.